looking for a marble slab, y'all.
Is it a flat stone or a?
It's flat. I think we're about these hospitals. There's a whole grove of them.
What was that?
The old mock orange bush.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's got some.
Those we used at Christmas time. They would cut a branch off and put it on a little plot or something and stick gumdrops on it.
Oh really?
Make little Christmas trees. Back in the old days. My grandmother still did that when I was a kid.
It's a really pretty jar. So this is foundation for the Perryman Plantation, right?
Yes, this is the chimney that was on the west side of the house. Of course, the other chimney was over there. This is one of the foundation pillars. And the foundation, of course, goes all the way back over to there and back to here. This one's falling over. It was right here in line with that one.
And when did this house, it burned down, right?
This house was vandalized to the point that it finally rotted down.
I got you.
All of the mantles, the doors, everything was stolen out of it.
Oh wow.
Over the years. Like I said, I was born in '65, and it was considered a ghost house when I came along. I can remember passing by here going to my grandmother's when I was 4 and 5 years old, and it was in the woods then. And everybody used to say, "Look at the ghost house," when we passed by.
Gotcha.
But Ms. Perryman is buried just outside the house here in this area. And there's a marble slab on the grave.
Hey, do you know when the house was constructed then?
The house was built, they say, around 1833. They say there were about 350 acres of land with this house.
Wow.
This was the Perryman Plantation. And they came here from Warren County, Georgia. And his name was James Perryman, and he was a Baptist minister. And he was one of the founders of the Baptist church in Talbotton. And then he went on later to found the Baptist church, or to help start the Baptist church, I think, in Buena Vista, Georgia, and down several churches down in Stewart County, I believe, Marion and Stewart County. He and his wife moved here from Warren County. He built this house for her, and they decided to move to, or he decided to move to Texas. He heard there was land available out there, so he wanted to go and carry his ministry out there and acquire more land. And his wife said, "No, you built this house for me, I'm staying here." He said, "No, you're coming with me." So they had all the family and everything loaded up in the wagons. And the day that they were to leave, everything was ready to go, and she wouldn't come out of the house. And he sent some family member in the house to get her. And she looked out a window on this side of the house, they say. This has always been handed down through the years, this story. They said that she looked out the window on this side of the house and she said, "My Texas is right out there in the backyard." And they went back out to the wagons and they heard a gunshot. And they went back inside and found that she had shot herself.
Wow.
And they brought her right out here and buried her. And she does have a marker on the grave, but we may have to wait till winter time to find it. Because these big trees were standing the last time I was here. And you see they've fallen. It's been a long time. But she was the daughter of Samuel Story in Warren County. And she and my great-great grandfather were brother and sister. 3 greats, great-great-great-grandfather.
I wonder if this is actually a piece of glass from the house. I mean, I guess it would make sense that it would be. I don't see any waves in it to make it look really old, but why else would it be here, the side where the house rotted into the ground? Unless, of course, people have just been dumping out here. So we're actually still, of course, walking inside of the house. Right now there's foundation right here. Actually, I think this is the other chimney. Yeah, this is the other chimney. And I just heard Dan call my name. I believe he found the grave. So let's go catch up to him.
Don't ask me how I found it.
There you are.
I just happened to step on it.
You stepped on it?
Yep.
Oh, wow. There it is.
There it is. Very well could be some large snakes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything written on it?
I don't see any
I
more.
know there used to be. There's someone has flipped it upside down.
I wondered that.
God, be careful there.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the back side of it.
Okay. I don't see any snakies right there.
Maybe if you flip the smaller one over first,
Yeah.
it'll give you some indication of what's here. That's not all of it anyway. There's still a large part of it somewhere. Right.
Someone with flowers at some time.
Mm-hmm. This has the bottom part of the writing on it.
Oh, yep, there it is.
It says Mrs. Jane F.
Yep, there it is. Sacred to the memory of Mrs. Jane. So that piece,
This piece goes around this way.
yeah.
Like this. And that's the rock foundation it goes on. Underneath. For the rest of it, it's going to be under there somewhere.
All right. Watch out for the There's snakies. I wonder who came out here and flipped it. Yeah, I can feel words. Oh, there's all of it. It's all just been flipped and stacked on top of. There's a headlight under this too.
Be careful.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a minute.
Good.
Watch out for.
The writing's on this side.
Oh, it is. Yeah. So that's that piece.
Up there, there's her last name, so that goes after. It says consort of.
Yeah. There's the edge. So that one goes under there. Let me try to move it. And okay. No snakes. No snakes. All right. That goes. Right there.
Okay.
All right.
I wonder why somebody turned that upside down.
Yeah. Still, of course, that piece, or those pieces are missing. All right, so it says, sacred to the memory of Mrs. Jane consort of James, right? James Perryman, and daughter of Samuel and Winnie Story, born May 11th, 1797, married February 11th, 1816, joined the Baptist Church February 19th, 1829, and died November 3rd, 1843.
I think 48.
Oh, 1848. 1848, not 1843. Blessed are the dead who die in the Lord.
Her father, Samuel Story, I forgot how many children he had by his first wife, Winnie. Winnie died, and he remarried Stacy Duckworth. And Stacy Duckworth and Samuel were my great-great-great-grandparents.
Wow.
So she was actually a half-sister to my great-great-grandfather. Samuel Story, between two wives, had 21 children.
Wow. Well, we found her.
And she has a brother buried in Pine Mountain. His name is James Story, and he actually built what is now known as Sweet Home Plantation It's a venue for weddings and so forth. It's a big plantation house, and he's buried in the front yard of that house.
Wow.
She has a uncle, Jesse Story, who's buried about 3 miles down the road here on the left, back up in the woods. And most all the neighbors in this area right here in this neighborhood, the Dismukes across the road, the Harrises, the Culpeppers, all moved here from Warren County, Georgia.
What drew them down here?
Land lottery, when the Indians were removed and land was divided up. I think they bought land here because a lot of people who drew land did not necessarily need it or want it. They sold it. So they started their plantation here. And I understand that he was doing quite well and just was seeking something better, so wanted to go on out to Texas because there were people who were moving further west, and he had friends that had gone out there. And when he presented that idea to her, she was against it. She said, "No, you moved me from home in Warren County to here. This is my home."
Yeah.
And they had been here. They came here in 1828, and she died in 48, so they had been here 20 years in Talbot County. The really sad part about it, I guess, would be the fact that after she did what she did to herself, he unloaded all the furniture and put it back in the house and stayed. So that's a sad end to.
It is.
And no one else is buried here but her. It's what I was always told, that he was buried elsewhere, and the rest of the family, all the descendants, or most of the descendants, are buried in the Oak Hill Cemetery in Talbot.
Gotcha. So she's just out here by herself with her house.
That's right. And there are descendants in the area. There's quite a few left around here. And obviously somebody put flowers on the grave within the last 20 years maybe.
Yeah. Well, we did find it somehow. I tell you, if you hadn't stepped on it, we wouldn't have.
I'm just glad I didn't step on a snake.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there are timber rattlers out here. Big ones.
I think it's kind of sad, you know, the fact that she is buried behind her house, which we looked at earlier, and it's kind of a grave itself, you know, to the house, you know. And
if you can picture it, her upstairs bedroom window that she looked out of was right there.
Wow. And here she is in her Texas. And it looks completely different out here now from, I mean, you were just saying this used to be peach orchards around here. And
there were peach orchards, you know, in my mother's youth. This was all Perryman peach orchard out here. Packing shed was across the road. And my mother remembered when tenants lived here in this house. And it was very livable up until probably the early 50s, maybe.
Wow. So this barn here is the last remaining structure that's somewhat intact, left over from the Perryman Plantation here. And I thought it was worth taking a look at, because it will not be here much longer. It's barely here now. There's a little white wall tire too. There must be one of the peach baskets. Dan said it used to be full of old peach baskets. It is certainly amazing how things come and go. Like this once big plantation is now just ruins in the woods, a chimney pile, a lone grave, and an old dilapidated barn.